Hello everyone, this is Bharat Sparrow in front of you. I am from TSWREIS Junior College Boys from Achampet. My subject is physical science. Science, it's believe only truth. So for that I love physical science. Now I am going to give my presentation about centrifugal and centripetal force. So before going to these two forces, let me move on today our objectives. So friends, today our objectives are students are able to define centripetal force and centrifugal force. Students are able to know the differences between centripetal force and centrifugal force. Students are able to know the applications between the centripetal force and centrifugal force. So friends, what is mean by centripetal force and centrifugal force? So first of all we have to know about what is force. Force is nothing but push or pull. See friends, when I was come out inside from the car, I just pull the door. When I was enter inside the car, I just pull the door. Here which is moves forward, it is push, and which is move backward, it is pull. Here force is nothing but push or pull. In force, again there are two types. They are contact force and field force or force at a distance. So let me know more information about these two forces. So contact force. Contact force means when there is a direct physical contact between two interacting objects is said to be contact force. For example, vehicles are moving on the roads. There is a direct contact between tire and road. In similarly, field force, the force which occurs without any physical contact between two interacting objects. So friends, here a charged balloon attract a piece of paper. Did you observe friends? Here a charged balloon attract piece of papers. So it is in the field force. Now let me know more information in contact force. So contact force again classified into four types friends. They are muscular force, normal force, force of friction and tension force. So let me know what is muscular force. Muscular force, the force which exerted by using our body muscles. See, when a person lifting an object, even though when we are smile, there is a muscular force, right? So then normal force. Normal force means the force which act against the gravitational force is said to be normal force. Friends, when I keep an object at the top of table, here the two forces are acting. One is gravitational force and another one is normal force. See friends, here normal force is acting perpendicular to that object. So it is in normal force. Similarly, the force of friction, nothing but friction friends. See, friction, it is the resistance to the movement of body. When I roll a ball on the level of ground, it's move some distance. After some time, it will stop because of friction. So here friction means it is a resistance to stop, right? So then tension force. Tension force means it is a feeling of tightness in a rope or string, etc. See, when I tie a object with string and I suspend it, then we can observe here rope act as a tension force. Did you observe here friends, tension force? Here it is a feeling of tightness in a rope or string. So this is the tension force. Now let me discuss about field force. Field force also again classified into three types friends. They are magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. Let me know about magnetic force. Magnetic force means attraction or repulsion of a magnet. See, when I try to attract two magnets here, that means I try to attract like poles here, but it does not attract, it can repulse. In case if I change the direction of these two magnets, that means I try to attract unlike poles, it can attract. So in this case we observe attraction or repulsion of a magnetic is said to be magnetic force. Similarly, in electrostatic force means the force which we exerted by a charged body and another body is said to be electrostatic force. See, in our daily life, when we comb our dry hair, after you bring piece of paper near to that comb, that piece of papers attract to that comb because of charged. So this is the example for in our daily life electrostatic force. Next, gravitational force. We are all well known force is nothing but gravitational force. Gravitational force means the force of attraction between two objects is said to be gravitational force. See friends, when I throw a stone up in the sky and it will back return onto the earth due to gravitational force. And also friends, here we observe revolution of the moon around the earth because of gravitational force. Okay friends, now we are all familiar to know about these forces only, right? So let me enter our what is centripetal and centrifugal forces. So before going to discuss these centripetal force and centrifugal force, we have to know about motion, because for our better understanding. So what is motion? Motion is nothing but if an object change its position with respect time. See, for example, flying of birds, moving vehicles, walking humans, we can represent them, they are in the motion, right friends? Here motion classified into three types. They are translatory motion, oscillatory motion and circular motion, right friends? So let me discuss about translatory motion. So what is meant by translatory motion? Motion of all particles of the body moves in the direction of motion is said to be translatory motion. Friends, when a person release arrow from his bow, did you observe here? When a person is release arrow from his bow and this arrow moves in the direction of motion, so it is said to be in translatory motion. Here motion of a drill bit also a example for translatory motion. So then we discuss about oscillatory motion. So friends, oscillatory motion, in this case we have to observe only to and fro motion, whether it is sidewards, backward, up and down, whatever. So oscillatory motion means motion of all particles follow a same path at a fixed axis. It's said to be oscillatory motion. See friends, here persons are all on the swing and they move forward and backward. So they are all in the oscillatory motion. So here pendulum is also an example for oscillatory motion. Now let me discuss a special motion, that is circular motion. See friends, circular motion, motion of particles of a moving body in a circular path at a fixed axis is said to be circular motion. When we observe at our home, there is a table fan. Here particles, the blades particles follow a certain circular path at a fixed axis. So it is in the circular motion. So in this circular motion, again they classified into two types. They are uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. So, let me discuss about what is uniform circular motion. So, friends, uniform circular motion means motion of, if an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed is said to be uniform circular motion. In case when we say it is in non-uniform circular motion, yes, we can say if an object move with different speeds, we can say it is in non-uniform motion. So, friends, in uniform circular motion, the giant wheel example for the uniform circular motion. See, in this, if an object maintains a uniform circular motion, certain net force is required, whether it is push or pull. For that, so the net force which pull toward the center is said to be centripetal force, and the net force which push away from the center is said to be centrifugal force. So, let me discuss about centripetal force. So, there is a number of example in our daily life centripetal force. See, a major problem for farmers to scare birds away from their field. See friends, farmers use many methods to protect their field from birds. So, the common method is to protection of their field is to scare birds away from their field. So, here in this slide we observe a farmer swirling a stone by tied with a rope. So, when he swirling round and round, here rope pull towards the center. That means, I already said that friends, which is pulled toward the center is said to be centripetal force. In this slide, we observe that rope push the stone towards the center. So, it is in the centripetal force. And also similarly, we observe different types of centripetal force in our daily life. The earth rotates around the sun because of centripetal force. See friends, when you drive a car around the circular path, the centripetal force acts as a force of friction between the road and tire. Yes or no friends? So, now we are all familiar to know about centripetal force. So, for that what we can say for centripetal force? Yes, we can say the centripetal force acts toward the center, then it is said to be centripetal force. So, now let me discuss about centrifugal force. What is that? Centrifugal force. So, centrifugal force means what? The force which push away from the center. Friends, one day I was suffering from illness. So, I went to hospital to consult a doctor. So, doctor advised for me to bring your blood reports. So, again I went to diagnostic center. In that center, the lab technicians took my blood in a test tube and they placed it in the one of the machine. I asked for them, what is the mission? They told me that mission is a centrifugal mission, centrifugation mission. So, that mission is used to test the blood and urine samples. See friends, after they took my blood samples in the test tube, they placed it inside the centrifugation mission. After one rotation of that mission with tube, I will observe a lighter components to come out the surface. Okay friends? So, in this case we observe there is a centrifugal force. The lighter components to come out from the center. So, there is a centrifugal force. And also we can observe number of situations in our daily life, like they are churning of milk, washing machine. By observing this slide, we can say churning of milk. When we take some milk in a bowl, after spin rapidly with some time with a milk churner, after some time you observe a paste like solid cream out of the milk. So, here milk churner make the lighter components to come out the surface. That means here lighter components away from the center. Yes or no friends? So there is a centrifugal force. Similarly, in washing machine, the wet cloths are dried up automatically. How? Because of centrifugal force. See, wet cloths are moving in washing machine a circular path. Let me come back what I said before here. If an object maintain uniform circular motion, certain net force is required. So, when wet cloths are moving in a circular path, certain net force is acting on wet cloths. So, these net force remove the water molecules from wet cloths and wet cloths are dried up automatically. So, there is a centrifugal force in the washing machine also. So, we can observe number of centrifugal forces in our daily life. So, now let me give differences between centripetal force and centrifugal forces. See friends, what is mean by centrifugal force? The centrifugal force act away from the center and centripetal force act towards the center. See, I am giving an example here. Mud flying of a tire is one of the example for centrifugal. In this case, we observe when there is a huge rainy or in rainy season, the tire is struck in the dig. So, it will rotate. When it rotates, the mud will split out. That means it is away from. So, here mud flying of a tire is one of the example for centrifugal force. So, a satellite orbiting a planet is an example of the centripetal force. Ready? Did you observe? So, here we can take a number of examples for centripetal force by revolution of the moon around the earth. See, when the revolution of the moon around the earth is approximately uniform circular motion. I already said that if an object maintain a uniform circular motion, certain net force is required. Here, revolution of the moon around the earth. Here, moon attract the earth as a gravitational force and this gravitational force act as a centripetal force friends. So, here the units of the centrifugal force is newtons and centripetal units for the centripetal force is newtons also. So, friends, let me come back to what we were discussing in earlier. So, friends, we can say like that mind mapping. So, we discuss about force. The force again classified into two types. They are contact force and field force. Again in contact force, they classified into four types. They are muscular force, frictional force, normal force, tension force. Similarly, in field force also, they classified into three types. They are magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force. According to motion, motion is also classified into three types. They are translatory motion, oscillatory motion, circular motion. In this circular motion, again they classified into two types. They are uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. In uniform circular motion, the which is pulled toward the center, it is said to be centripetal force, and which is pushed away from the center, it is centrifugal force. So, friends, by end of this session, we observe we are going to define our objective. That means we are able to define the centripetal and centrifugal forces. We are able to know the differences between centrifugal and centripetal forces. We are able to know the application of in our daily life centripetal and centrifugal forces. Based on these two forces, we are going to construction of banking of roads. Based on these two forces, number of electronic devices were going to made. Example for washing machine. It is an electronic device. We saw a centrifugal force. So, based on these forces only, there is a number of electronic device which we made by the base of these two forces. So, if anything we are going to explain, there is a base. So, before I am going to explain this centripetal force and centrifugal force, I will take as a force and motion for base for the this centripetal force and centrifugal force. So here force and motion is depending on the centripetal and centrifugal force for our better understanding, right? So I really thankful to TSAT studio and our secretary sir garu, Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar sir garu, and my principal sir Ravi Shankar Shetty sir garu, and my mentor teacher Srimati P. Rajita Madam garu, and my staff members and my dear friends. Thank you everyone.